Hello, welcome to the Sound of Science, the place where we deconstruct unscientific bogus and silly scams. Let's go get them. Hello, fellow critical thinkers. Thank you so much for watching my video. In the past, I've made several videos about Frank Turek. He's a Christian apologist who is talking nonsense on YouTube all the time, which I've demonstrated on this channel over and over again. But since people are still listening to his hogwash, it's time to make another video about him. So, let's do this.
In fact, what is the biggest objection you get if you're a Christian? What do people say about Christians in general?
Well, in general, the biggest objection to Christianity is that Christians believe in a God despite the fact that there is no evidence that he exists, plus the fact that the Christian God, were he to exist, is a very immoral, violent and sadistic dictator, at least according to what supposedly are his own words in his Bible book. Just do a quick Google search for Objections against Christianity, and those are about the most serious objections that you will find.
In fact, what is the biggest objection you get if you're a Christian? What do people say about Christians in general? You're a hypocrite!
No. That in itself is not the main problem with Christianity. Worshipping a God who, according to his own book, is an immoral thug is a much more serious objection. But apparently, you want to pretend that you're a hypocrite is the most common objection against Christianity. Well, okay, whatever. I'm losing brain cells by watching this anyway. By the way, note the sloppy editing. Even after the "you're a hypocrite" standard stock footage clip is pasted into the video. Even after that moment, Turek is still looking as if he is waiting for an answer from his audience.
You're a hypocrite!
So this gives the impression that his audience didn't give him the desired answer, so he had to create it himself. And that's why we're now watching a video in which he pretends that "you're a hypocrite" is the most common objection against Christianity, which is total nonsense.
Now, when somebody calls you a hypocrite, you know what I think you ought to say? At least two things. Number one, you're right.
No, that's very bad advice. If someone calls you a hypocrite, you should ask them why they say that and how it is relevant to anything. What is your evidence for me being a hypocrite? But okay, if you want to admit to being a hypocrite, have fun.
What follows from that? I don't live up to my standards. Do you live up to yours?
Yes, I do. I do live up to my own standards. I think stealing is bad, so I don't steal. I think violence is bad, so I don't use violence. I think slavery is bad, so I don't own slaves. Most people act like that and live up to their own standards. It's a pretty common thing to do. So I don't understand why you make such a big deal out of it. And not living up to your own standards doesn't mean you're a hypocrite. You're only a hypocrite if you tell others to live up to your standards, and then when you yourself don't live up to those standards, only then you're a hypocrite. So you don't really seem to grasp the concept. Where is this conversation going? You seem to be directing yourself into a dead-end street.
You realize that nobody lives up to their standards. Nobody is completely consistent all the time.
But being consistent all the time is pretty irrelevant and totally different from living up to my own standards. And it has got nothing to do with hypocrisy. Jeez, Turek is only talking for 30 seconds and it's already a complete dumpster.
We're all fallen.
What? We're all fallen? That is a very bad argument to make. It's not even an argument. It's just a biblical claim. It will get you nowhere in any serious debate.
Second thing you can say, do you realize you've just given evidence for God?
No, people should not say that because it's complete nonsense. Having an opinion about hypocrisy doesn't prove the existence of a God in any way. Why are you making such a big deal out of hypocrisy? It's totally uninteresting. So, there are people who tell you should do X, and then they don't do X themselves. At worst, these people are annoying, so all you got to do is avoid them. Problem solved. Why would an issue like that be worth making a video about? And what has hypocrisy got to do with gods?
Why? Why is hypocrisy wrong if there is no God? Why is anything wrong if there is no God? Nothing's wrong if there's no God.
How so? If no God exists, which I think is the case, I think murder, rape, torture and war are still wrong. Why would we need a God to assess that those things are wrong? Do you mean that you, for yourself, can't figure out that these atrocities are wrong, and you need a God to help you with that? That is pretty pathetic and shocking at the same time.
There's no standard beyond ourselves that we're obligated to obey. You can't say anything's right or wrong. It's just your opinion.
Well, if a God were to exist and he thinks something is wrong, then that is just his opinion. And I'd much rather rely on the balance of opinions of millions of people than on just one opinion of one God who has demonstrated to be a violent and sadistic dictator in his own book. The opinion of just one God who is judging his own decisions is the most subjective standard you can think of. It doesn't get more subjective than that. If you want to have a standard for morality that is more objective, you should ask the opinion of 1 million random people, because then we get points of view from people of different cultures, different ages, different lifestyles, different religions. That would be much more objective than asking only one guy to assess his own decisions.
So if you think there's something wrong with hypocrisy, you've just given evidence for God.
No, that is total nonsense. You are the one making a big deal out of the concept of hypocrisy. Nobody asked for that, and you demonstrate that you don't even understand what hypocrisy is. And whatever opinion anyone has about hypocrisy, it has got nothing to do with a God, and doesn't prove the existence of a God in any way. Turek, if you use this type of logic, next thing you're going to prove Dracula by having an opinion about garlic.
We admit we've done evil, that's why we need a savior.
No, you don't need a savior. What you need to do is stop doing evil things. It's much more simple.
And I don't live up to the pure words of Christ either. I'm a hypocrite.
Excuse me? Can you say that again?
And I don't live up to the pure words of Christ evil. Christ evil.
Yes, I think I heard that right. Christ's evil. That's an interesting mistake. You really didn't want to say that. But God made you do it anyway, so God knows a bit more about this Jesus character than you do. This is going absolutely nowhere, Turek. If you want to prove the existence of your God, just start with the basics and produce some pictures and videos that show your God. That would be a good start. Oh, I really can't take any more of this idiot spouting his nonsense, so let's put an end to this. But while you're here, please consider to like my video and subscribe to my channel so that we can spread the message of critical thinking and expose more nonsense. But if you don't, I will not flood your entire village, and I will not let you burn in the lakes of fire, because like most normal human beings, I'm much nicer than the Christian God, because I believe in people and their right to live a free, prosperous, healthy and happy life without the oppressive guidance of a sadistic dictator God. If you as a viewer were to reject me, then that's just tough luck for me. Then I will just have to try harder to create better videos. And perhaps then you will stick with me and watch my videos. Find me one God who is as forgiving as I am and tell me about it in the comment section. Thanks for watching.